Hey, yo, you're listening to Cash on the Hood. We love it when you like, share, and subscribe. I'm your host, Jason Sauer. I'm here with my main man, Steven Sickles. So, behind the deck, we got Brian Cottington. He has the Cinema Psycho show. He's like 260 shows in, so we are supported by a true engineer. We love it. Who's on my left right now?
Jeff Fatty Clark, Columbus, Ohio.
Is Mike Tix, a.k.a. Tixie. I'm actually the fat guy of the group, but, Twin Cities of Minnesota.
Nice. Where are you from, Steven?
Good old Uniontown, Pennsylvania.
So you guys came in from long distances today. Jeff drove through the night. Or how long did it take you to get here, buddy?
It took me roughly three hours to get here. It ain't too bad. I'm just on the west side of Columbus there, so.
That wasn't even enough time to clear your mind, dude. You still came here fogged.
It was a great trip. It was a great trip by myself.
Well, I had a couple-hour flight here. I got to come on in here to PA with my wife and spend a little bit of time with her here, seeing Pittsburgh. Love this town over here. Love the introduction. Every time I come here, I get to see a new part, and Jason Sauer will always have a new thing to show you when you come here. It's so cool.
You got one of the best tour guides you can have right here.
Oh, absolutely. Until he brings you to the hood, and it's like, no, we're cool, man. This is good here. Oh, wait a minute. That's your house.
I took this guy to Oakmont Bakery yesterday. It was like 50 yards of cookies and cakes.
I watched Mike Tix live, and I saw the excitement in his eyes.
I knew that he would love it.
Yeah, it was super cool, though. But the fun thing of it is when you come on over here, it doesn't matter who you're with, what you're with, or anything like that. There's always a unique thing to see here in Pittsburgh. The true iron history of this city is just one of those really neat things. You know, I've traveled the country all over the place and seen different cities, different small town USA. And when I come here, it's always that unique position that it's always something new.
It's an old city.
How long you lived in Pittsburgh, Sauer? Because you was pretty educated last night driving through the city. I mean, like the hot bridge and stuff. That was cool. Yeah. You know how they made that.
I moved here in 2005 after I was done with the Army, but I grew up here. My grandfather's from here, so my family is from this neighborhood. We came here on weekends, weddings, and funerals, and I could have bought a building anywhere in the world, and I just ended up one where my family's from. So it's I lucked out that that there's so much history right here that I can draw from.
The hood runs deep.
It does.
Cash on the hood.
The cash on the hood.
I'm slightly disappointed that every time he brings someone in, he takes them for all this good food. I'm from an hour away, and I don't know where all this good food is. So,
well, you're in and out, Steven. Like, we do this show early in the morning because of Steven Sickles. Because this dude derbies so much, he has to get in here, do the podcast, get on it. He's already got a trailer halfway going to wherever he's going to, and he has to catch up to the trailer.
Sure.
That's what happens when you're 2021 Unified Points.
We're going to try and slow it down and just breathe a little bit this year, hopefully.
Dude, you probably have 6 cars built already.
I have a few.
I do have it.
We're working on that.
So, as you know, this podcast is about art, hustle, and a little bit of demolition derby. So when you guys watch the new YouTube video that you're going to see, that we have some art hanging, which is pretty cool. But the guys around me here make a lot of money off of demolition derby and out of catalytic converters. Jeff, how do you make your fastest cash in America?
I run demolition derby. I make my most from May to October.
Yeah,
running demolition derbies, county fairs in Ohio.
What's your average win like? What's that money?
$1,000, but you do it 4 times a month. You know that it adds up real quick. So that, and I do just scrap a little bit, converters and junk cars and stuff. So
you're in good company here with the converters.
You know, Josh Decker told me you don't win any derbies.
Well, not New York, Steve. Not in New York. You know, yeah, I'm actually going to put a converter out here in a minute and see who's going to give me the most, so I can pay for my way home here in a little bit. I got Sickles.
I have 2 options. Can we either box or there's a Target up the road. We can go buy them Rock'em Sock'em robots.
Listen, this is what we're going to do, guys. We're going to throw wallets on the hood, and I'm just going to grab one. All right.
You'd be disappointed.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be a letdown, homie. It's going to be a letdown. My wife is with me, so you know darn well that woman's eating up that pocketbook.
We was at 2 targets yesterday, Tix. Not 1, but 2 targets yesterday. So,
You know, it's really funny when you sit there and you talk about it, you know, Fatty out there winning derbies and stuff, you win $1,000. You know, there's people out there that think like, oh man, $1,000 isn't much in today's economy and inflation and everything like that. But you know, the true hustle is still out there. You take $1,000 and you add another $1,000 and you add a couple more. Next thing you know, that zero, you grab another zero on the end of that thing. Now you're talking a large sum of money there.
yes, sir.
You know, so that's kind of the thing. Don't shortchange yourself at the first 1,000. Keep looking forward.
Right. Yeah, we'd win $1,000, come home, work on the car, be ready for the Derby 2 days away, you know, ready to go. Because we want that other 1,000.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you got to be wise with your money and not blow it either.
Right. Put it
Well,
right
you win
back
a lot of
into
money,
it. Yeah,
Steven.
that Tix shouldn't be on this.
Yeah.
We're talking about blowing
There we
money.
go. I got it. I got pissed away in a real quick hurry. I mean, here you guys.
Yeah, I've been to your house, Tix. It's like
I'm over here texting the old lady to get the Rock and Swap and robots still.
That's funny.
Well, she does have one of the credit cards and the keys to the car here in Pittsburgh, so and she knows where Target is. Both of them downtown.
They
have
got a
two-story.
two-story Target here.
That's where mine went while we're recording
The
right now.
two-story Target. Yeah, it was awesome.
I actually procrastinated, and something we're doing the Christmas for the Most Wanted Car Club. I sent her to Target to get some stuff for the kids.
That's
Nice.
very kind of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
my wife stayed up till 3 a.m. packing all the stuff that we're going to be giving away today. So, so later on, so for you listeners, later on today, Most Wanted Car Club is Saving Christmas. We do it here in the neighborhood of Garfield, and we've identified 11 to 17-year-olds in needing a little more assistance because there's Toy for Tots with the Marines. But with the Marines, you have to get in early. So there's a lot of procrastination at Christmas. So we come in and clean up at the end. We're the closers for Christmas. And then whatever we don't give away today, we've been invited to the Mario Lemieux Children's Home on December 20th to give away the rest of the stuff. So the children in the Children's Home is a different type of request because that's blankets and hats. And those kids really can't touch things, but we're giving toys and presents to their siblings. That way they have something to play with in the room and stuff. So we're trying to do a good deed as a group, and I feel pretty good about being charitable. Most Wanted Car Club, the original member right here is Steven Sickles. Even before we had a car club, he was out getting his truck spray painted.
Yeah,
no
he was
clue.
tagged. He was tagged.
I
Yeah.
had no clue what it would turn into.
All right. Mike Tix has a minivan there in Minnesota called the Cause
Something
Tix.
long.
That is a Toyota, right?
It is.
I'm gonna end up with that one day. Hopefully.
He was scoping it up when he was in Minnesota here this fall. He was already looking at it. You know, we were bummed out. You know, trying to make something happen for Steven. You know, he's never run a full size truck in a derby, so that was like we were building a Suburban for him for that class. And we just ran a little bit short. We had some bad things happen in the build and everything like that. So we had alternative options for Steven. That was the whole thing, you know. So thank God my cash on the hood hustle, you know, allowed me to have a couple options sitting there for him, you know.
Mhm.
And but it was fun. We had a ton of fun up there, and everybody was kind of walking around, looking and watching, see what was going on. And you know, I wanted to put a W in Steven's belt to go back to Pennsylvania from Minnesota. You know, it's kind of one of those clicks, and he almost had it, man. You were kissing it there.
This close. Prusman beat me.
Ah.
Beat him. And you guys were trying to gang him.
I don't know about that.
It was funny. We
I
caught
still
him.
swear.
As soon as he come out, he was like, "They was trying to get me, fatty." They was trying to get
I
me.
still swear that motor. The beginning of that derby, I heard his motor rapping or making some sort of noise.
It was horrible.
He knew though that motor was going to run all night long. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
We
it was
watched
not
them
going to
bolt
die.
the front bumper on the car at the Derby. Like he had it in line, and they walked up and threw the front bumper right in front of him. Jacob bolted it on the car at the Derby.
Oh, I believe it,
That's
but I'm
awesome.
telling you, that motor was a sleeper.
It was broke in. That's a 200,000
Yeah.
mile motor.
That's
yeah,
one
well,
of
you
them
had a
ones that,
sleeper
like-
shifter on the floor of those Sickles, you know.
That was a Mike Tix special.
Oh man, here we go.
It's so crazy when we sit there and you talk about that. Like, okay, all right, we're all talking about this fun that we had and everything like that, but it took the hustle of life to get us to that point, to be able to have that fun. You know, nobody just threw that out at us. It took a little bit of work to get to that point. And, you know, as Fatty says, he goes out and wins derbies. That's his quick cash to fame right there. You know, let's go win some derbies and stuff. But you got to remember, nobody hits him over there. They give it to him. They feel sorry for him. So,
That's right.
you know,
Right.
you know, if I had that opportunity in Minnesota, I said I'd be all over the Midwest doing that same kind of thing. But, you know, I just don't have that smile that Fatty carries and poses. So I got to do it my way, you know. So it's like, chasing the junk car, chasing that rusty exhaust piece underneath it, trying to figure out, it's like, so in the state of Minnesota, we don't have those inspections to put those cars off the road, a little sooner than they should be, because Minnesota, they run them to death. I mean, those cars are junk when they go. So now you got to find it. What's that catalytic converter worth? What's the price of scrap iron? What's a battery worth? Hey, 4 good tires. What can we do with this thing?
Full tank of gas is your favorite.
Oh, stupid. I am so dumb. I'll tell you, y'all hear that story? Do you see that Facebook Live of me? I'm such a donkey.
Yeah, when you took the Toyota.
The wife and I go pick up this nice Toyota. It's got a full tank of gas in it. It's like score, man. So Monday morning, what happens in Minnesota? Tix is going to drive that car and use up that full tank of gas. What's Minnesota get? A goddamn snowstorm. And I'm driving that piece of shit with bald tires going back and forth to work. And it's like, I have a career, I have a bank account, I have a little bit of savings, right, and I'm driving this $500 piece of shit with a full tank of gas to work in a snowstorm. I own 3 4-wheel drive pickup trucks, and my work gives me one with a credit card. I don't even have to use my own gas, but no, I'm the dumbest SOB you'll ever meet.
You should see the Cavalier I just put on the road.
I seen it the other day. It's nice.
Everyone's like, "Why are you driving this?"
Yeah.
$300. I got 100,000 miles on it. I couldn't.
Right. Yeah, it's a beautiful car, Steven. It's a beautiful car.
Does it have Uniontown rust, or is it good?
It has a little bit of rust.
See, it's a Cavalier, so you can just run the piss out of this thing, and it'll take it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm talking redlining it from green light to green light. I'm having fun with it.
I bet.
Awesome.
And the effect of the gas, I've actually been doing a lot with my old gas out of my cars. I've been straining it into my waste oil. A lot of people don't want to burn it, but I feel it thins it a little bit. And there's low amounts. I've been using the old gas, and now all my other trucks were diesel. So this $300 Cavalier, what's it going to get this winter?
Oh yeah,
the fresh gas.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I watched
Maybe even
you
a little
dump
bit of the old.
oldest gas in the world in my van that I took to Miami. I've never even seen gas that.
Yeah, I didn't know where that can came from.
You said I come with a junk car.
My family steals all my good gas. So like,
your shed has all empty gas.
yeah,
tanks
we
in
went
it.
through like 8 empty gas cans, and then we found one that had something in it, and it was, it was brown.
A little
It
rank,
was-
was it?
Uh-huh.
There was barely any smell to it, so it had to be good
I
stuff.
said I don't even think it'd be flammable at that point.
Yeah. I went home and put 5 gallons of 93 and tried to mix it to an even 80.
69.
Yeah,
He was good with
that's
69.
that's
I mean, I believe I saw that thing runs on what, E88 or whatever, so you didn't need that high quality.
Yeah.
I enjoyed revving that thing up in Miami. I just record as soon as I started, I just take it right to the bang end, just bang, 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 bang. bang.
It
Oh, the
needed
cops
that.
love
It needed that. I don't know what was going on with it, but once you got to rev up, she was good.
So if you don't know, Steven cut the roof off a minivan, and we took it to Miami. And I took it to a graffiti party like first night, and they of course tagged the windshield shut to the point where I could barely drive it. So
Yeah, I wondered that.
but I had my helpers Kai and Sean were standing in it and like just telling me where to drive while we were going through Miami. Stop, left. So I was like,
Pretty cool.
oh my gosh,
I could see that because the only part of the roof was that was left was over the driver's compartment. So Kai was probably standing right behind Jason over top of him, and just like, Kai sort of gives me that appearance of a pirate sometimes. He's probably like,
Yeah, you probably look like a giraffe in a horse trailer. As tall as he is.
Well, I would be afraid going underneath the stoplight with him standing up. He could get knocked on his ass.
So
Yeah.
the reason we cut the roof off that car actually was to take some sculptures that Jason built down to Miami. You did end up selling one, right?
we
Or did
did.
you sell both or one?
Well, maybe the second one. We got to turn the second one into a 15-footer. So right now
They
the
want it
sculptures
taller.
only, yeah, they want it bigger.
I get it.
We sold it to a guy who owns a mountain in Colorado and a basketball team, and it was pretty intense to find that we made it to the next level. Like somebody is like,
Well, to me, like for you, I'm proud of you because like I love seeing your art go all around the country.
Mhm. It's
So
awesome. It's awesome.
it's pretty rad.
yeah,
And I'll send you all the videos of the cool models that like got their picture taken with it.
that's
I'm gonna
awesome.
say I'm going into it easy since I know that we're being watched and stuff. But some people act really inappropriate around that sculpture, so I was like, I got some pretty cool photos of it.
You know, I have to state something here as far as Jason Sauer and the art and everything, Most Wanted Fine Art. You know, here with all of us at TrackShot and everything like that, Jason has always given us credit for giving him exposure across the country, across the world. And I have to thank you, because I think you bring more exposure to us. You bring a whole culture to us, you know, as we sit here and talk about cash on the hood, we talk about art, we talk about, you know, the hustle of life and everything like that. You know, you truly are the hustle. I mean, you are the full 360 hustle and everything like that. So what you do for us to bring culture to us, I didn't know nothing about art until I met my homie, and next thing you know, he's teaching me, taking me to an art park up in Minnesota, showing me, you know, murals and abstract and stuff like that. It was a really neat education that you brought to us and enlightened us in many different ways. So as we talk about a TrackShotLive thing, you are truly a whole different line of culture to us.
I like selling the product. I love having a derby car on a trailer and just dragging it around America and let people know that Demolition Derby is the coolest thing ever. And now with your guys' ideas, like we did at the casket art right now. So remember when we went to the art space there in Minnesota?
I can't remember at all.
It was a great time over there.
Right. I have sent them a small sculpture over there. So they want us to do exactly what Mike Tix wants to do. Is when we're done smashing the cars, we cut them up with the torches right then and there and build a huge sculpture, have it delivered, donate it to charity, and we basically leave our mark. We were here. Demolition Derby was here. So when I was in Miami, I would count how many postcards I gave out. I gave out nearly 1,000 postcards. So I feel bad for all the people in the booths beside me because they heard about Demolition Derby to the point they were probably sick of it. The next year I'm bringing a TV. That way you can watch it too.
That's awesome.
Because I didn't realize how many people don't speak English. So me trying to say Demolition Derby in Russian just isn't working. So I would think if I had a monitor, I could just point to it and be like, huh? This is how we get to this point.
We should have cut the hammer up.
Oh,
we should have saved some of the hammer.
We should have cut
Is the hammer gone?
Hammer's gone.
Oh,
Wow.
Dang it. I didn't even think, oh, God, I suck at this.
Man,
right in the feels.
Oh, my goodness.
It could have lived forever, Tix.
I know.
It
Dang
could
it.
have lived
See.
forever.
I'm disappointed.
I am too. I had a moment with that thing.
We do got Gerardo's Cadillac left that we got to try and make some art out of.
That's
correct?
where we're gonna chop that one up, and we're gonna try to sell it to this guy here in Colorado. So we're gonna get that, try to make the sculpture, add 5 more feet to it.
I want to backtrack to what Mike Tix said, though, and about your experience with Jason Sauer. Every time I travel with him somewhere, I am learning.
Mm-hmm.
I am learning stuff about the art culture that I never had a clue. And I mean, going out to California, just drive down the road, he'll teach you 5 different things you had 0 clue about. So we definitely appreciate
Oh, yeah.
that.
It's like riding with your high school history teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Mine was hot, though. I would never ask
Yeah,
Jason out on a
yeah.
date,
Oh,
though.
please.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever had a female history teacher, so
Yeah.
I think that's what she taught. I was really, I was more into anatomy with her, but
Well, I was riding with him last night, and I was like, Sowers, does it feel like everybody's staring at us? And I keep forgetting the truck's just spray painted to death. You know?
Get
We're
used to it.
downtown
Get used to
Pittsburgh,
it.
and everybody's just looking at him like, man, what the hell's going on here? And then you get out, and it's the badass truck.
Uh-huh.
You know.
Well, I had Jason's truck a couple weeks ago, and in my hometown, like, people are so used to me driving my truck that it's like not eye-catching anymore.
Right.
But I hopped in his, so it was like refreshing that.
Oh, everybody was looking.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah,
what is that? Like, what's MWFA? And
right.
at this point in my truck, they're just like, oh, it's him again.
It's him again. He wants my converter.
It's true.
where's some sock'em rock'em robots? Man, we're gonna be doing some ass kicking here.
Right.
It's fun. My mom used to like be really weirded out when she first moved to the city here with us, and she'd ride with me, and so I keep a stack of postcards. And now my mom is more comfortable, so she'll lean out of the truck in traffic and pass out a postcard to somebody.
Oh, nice. That's
So
awesome.
yeah, we picked up a new car club member. He'll be coming today. His name's Don. He's got a '87 Cutlass. He wants Heaven and Hell painted on it. So we
There
got
you
a
go.
new dude coming through. So pretty pumped for that.
You know-
so we just meet people in traffic.
And you know, you guys have to remember the car club. It is stretching out across the country.
Mhm.
I mean, we've got him in Minnesota. You painted up that van, the Vikings van, last year at the Throwdown.
Dan, yeah.
Dan's,
Colorado, the wagon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yvette O'Brien.
Yeah.
Yep, O'Brien's.
Yeah.
So
We
It's
just
stretching.
missed Kansas. I got guys out there wanting him to do it, and he was on an airplane back to Pennsylvania.
We got a couple people in Kansas. Bubbles has her horse
Oh, I'm
caddy.
forgetting. Yeah, definitely.
the
Skinny.
worst burnout caddy in the world. We had to beat the piss out of that thing to get a good smoky out of it. That was
Oh my
a
God.
letdown.
I never laughed so hard in my life. Tix is trying to blow this Cadillac up. Sauer's just sitting there laughing.
I could, because it was like 2 a.m. and it was in between people sleeping in their RVs, and this dude's beating the Cadillac, attempting to get it to do a burnout. I'm crying, peeing in my pants like I'm in high school, like
It's
not
funny.
trying to laugh, but I'm like, it's too funny. I can't. So then he takes it around for a second lap because he's like, we didn't do good enough the first time. Let's take a second lap through all the RVs. I'm waiting for the car finally to get some warmed up or something and finally just tear off sideways and into an RV. But he managed
Never
to keep
happened.
it.
No.
Never
He
happened.
Never
tried
seen it.
too.
And Bubbles was encouraging you guys.
No, negative. Bubbles was on the negative encouragement. Skinny told her, I believe his comment was, Tix knows how much it costs.
Right.
So I knew how much hustle I had to do. I'm like, all right, I cut the can off of it. I scrapped this piece of crap. That's only going to be about a $500 bill worth of fun. And the history that we're making with this thing and memories,
Right.
it must be the best Christmas card one could ever get from me.
That's awesome. Was you at Mayhem when they burnt the Cadillac down?
I have no idea. I'm still trying to figure out who that Tex guy was that started that thing on fire.
Jeez.
That was wrong.
Yeah.
If you guys ever can find out who that TEX guy was, because that's what the fair board they heard that was his name. So you guys ever find that fella from about 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Make sure you point him out to somebody because we don't want that kind of stuff ever to come
No.
around and make history again.
No, they destroyed that poor car. They
Yeah.
was animals that weekend. It
That
crazy.
was we put a lot of stuff to rest that weekend.
Yeah.
There was I know the trailer full of not side by side, but the little kids' 4-wheelers, both of my pit bikes, my golf cart. We brought home I think 4 or 5 units on the trailer after the Derby that was all junk.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, responsibility
That's
was at level of -1.
yeah, Mayhem was fun that year.
Oh,
Yeah, I missed it.
Yeah. Dude, I forget what year Cadillac it was, but by the end of it, it was a convertible and caught on fire right in the lane at the pits.
I got to give a huge
It was
shout out
insane.
to that Cadillac right there. That was Nathan Meeker. All right. Nathan Meeker was, he was truly one of we talk about Demolition Derby. We talk about fun. We talk about competition. We talk about team driving. We talk about cash and checks, all that kind of stuff. But the number one thing that I'm always going to say about Demolition Derby, if you take the fun away, the sport is gone.
I agree.
The sport is gone. Granted, everybody wants to see stuff get wrecked. Everybody wants to see a winner. Everybody wants a new memory and history, but that fun and family is number one in Demolition Derby. And I'm going to say for a handful of years, we lost it.
Oh, yeah.
We lost it.
Yep.
And now it's coming back to it and everything like that. But Nathan Meeker out there, he knew how to put fun into Demolition Derby.
Oh, yeah.
He's one of the original OG cat and core buyers. He was right there with AB Cat Tech, and they were doing that kind of stuff. I mean, in that area, they were OG Demolition Derby core buyers. And, man, once again, Nathan Meeker, I hope you hear it out there, man. Brother, we have made some stories.
Man, yeah, that was 2010.
Yeah. God.
Still talking about it.
I didn't even know what a big derby was back then.
Really?
It's incredible.
Yeah.
The first year I heard about Bash, I believe, was 2013.
Really?
Yeah, and
So
we were
you never seen
Steven
you never
Young.
went to like a dent derby or nothing like that.
No.
You never seen that era. That was great
No.
stuff.
He was probably still finger painting at that time. You remember how young that man is.
Right.
You know?
So we
forgot.
in 2013, I ran a demolition derby at New Alex that night, New Alexandria Lions Club right here, and I had won. And I'd overheard, it was a Friday night, I'd overheard some people talking about Bash for Cash. And I looked at my little cousin, and my uncle and his wife went to the derby with us, and they had this conversion van. And I'm just socially talking to them, and they're like, let's take the van and go to Bash. And we literally went out
Nice.
for the rest of the weekend in 2013.
Really?
And then on 2014, I pulled on a track. So
No kidding. That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
sweet.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
that was my first big derby. So my father was always into it, but before, he wasn't a social media person. And before social media, you only heard locally. Like, we only knew of Fayette, we knew of New Alexandria, we knew of a couple local promoters, but we didn't even really hear of the Ohio Derbies.
Right.
So,
Right.
All right, hold on. More to this story, because right now we got to move on to the next episode. So check it out. You want to listen to the next episode? Catch back up here with these guys in this story of Demolition Derby. I'm Jason Sauer. This is Cash on the Hood. I need you to please like, share, and subscribe. We need you fans to help us get these numbers up. Salute my man behind the decks there, Brian Cottington, and his Cinema Psychos. That's a really great podcast about movies, so you want to listen to him. So, guys, we're going to come right back. So, for everyone who's listening, we drop these things every other week, so you're going to have to wait another week and a half to hear the rest of the story about how we're going to get here. So, again, Jason Sauer, Cash on the Hood, my man Steven Sickles right here. Send him out there, Fatty.
Yeah, Fatty Clark, Cash on the Hood. Next episode's coming shortly.